Good morning. Today topic your continuation of tomorrow. Tomorrow we discuss CSS cascading style sheets. On the topics we discussed internal, inline, internal, external. What what is the cascading style sheets? The cascading style sheet used to format a layout of web page. With the CSS, you can control the color, time, the font, the size of text, the spacing between elements, how elements are positioned and laid out, what background images or background colors to be used, different displays for different devices and screen sizes, and much more. There are different inline functions are inline by using the style attribute inside the HTML elements, internal by using the style elements in the head section, and external by using the link element to link to the external CSS. In external you have using CSS colors, fonts and sizes. We are discussing the points. In this one you have today your topic is the CSS borders. What is the CSS borders? The CSS border property defines a border around an HTML element. In this, you can define a border for nearly all HTMLs. Once you design the border to single page, then it is applied to all borders. Okay, the CSS border can properly define a border around an HTML element. You can define a border for nearly all HTML elements. This is a broad border. For example, you are going for program for border. You are a program for border. Program for border. And that one, what you have generally in the previous, you can what the type of program you can write. Similarly, you can same program. For example, you can see the program of HTML, open head and style, open the style, and the style you have, after then you can start your paragraph, that is a P, open curly braces, border colon 2px solid powder blue. Here the border is the border colon 2px solid powder blue, curly braces closed, after then style is closed, after then you have a closing the head. After again you can start a body tag. If you are using a paragraphs are here, after the opening the body you have a different headings and paragraphs. There is no border for a headings. Head h1, that is a heading tag. This is a heading. Closing of h1. After then you can open the paragraphs. I am using the 3 different type of paragraphs. First we can see the paragraph 1, that is the P. By opening the paragraph P, this is a paragraph. Closing of paragraph, that is a \P. After then you can use another paragraph, that is the P, opening the P. This is a paragraph. Closing of \P, that is a closing paragraph. After then you can use another paragraph, that is this is a paragraph, opening paragraph. After then you can use the closing paragraph, closing P, that is a \P. After then you can use the closing body and closing HTML. These are different types of paragraphs. Okay. After completion of this program, you can run this program. This what type of output to be displayed? Just open that output. Just open the output. You see that output. This is a heading. This is heading. This is a paragraph. This is a paragraph. This is a paragraph. they display that output on different, but only paragraph you have some border, that is a paragraph is border. You can give the paragraph output. This is heading, there you did not give any border for heading tag, that is a h1 tag. H1 you can simply h1, this is a heading, closing of h1, but here you did not use any border tag for heading tag. After then in 3 paragraphs we are using 2px solid powder blue. I'm using the 2px. For that the lines are very thin layer for border. In case of you using a 2px in place of 20px 30px, the border to be very thick. This way the program to be. I'm using only paragraphs. Only I'm using the after style, opening the p, that is the p paragraph, opening the curly braces, border, column, 2px solid powder blue, and with semicolon, colon. After that there is no borders on that way. In this way you can go for new one. After border you can go to padding, that is after you can go for padding. What is a padding? What is a padding? Padding is a property defines a padding, spaces between the text and the border. In this you can give the space between text and the border of border, the padding. This is padding property defines a padding space. Padding means that is a space between the text and the border. This is also, it is only space between text and border. It is a text and border. Similarly you can go for a program for this one also. This one program for this one, simply you can read the program about this one. Otherwise you can see a syntax of use of CSS border and padding properties. That is a directly you can give that open the that is the p, that is means paragraph, open the curly braces, border 2px solid powder blue. Here you directly given that in previous main, that is a p 2px solid powder blue, ended with semicolon, padding colon 30px. After then you can closing the curly braces. Then you can go for simple program to the padding of CSS. Similarly you can write any program for this one. That is a simple example program, that is a HTML head style. HTML, open the HTML, you can directly HTML. After then you can use the head, head. After then we can open the style tag, that is a style. Now you can use the paragraph tag p. You detect it is a paragraph. Here you define that word properties. P curly open the curly braces, curly brace, border colon 2px solid powder blue. Here the border to be you can give into border for your desired wish paragraph. After then you can use the padding. Padding means it is a space between text and border. The padding is a difference. It is a space between text and border. Now padding colon 30px. After then closing the curly braces. After then you can close the style tag, that is a backslash style, and again you can close the head tag, that is a backslash head. After then you can start the body tag, that is the body, open the body. Now you can start the heading. This is a heading, closing the heading tag. After then you can different paragraphs, so you can open. And that one is the first one, the open the P. This is a paragraph closing P, that is means backslash P. After then you can start the another paragraph opening P. This is a paragraph. After then you can closing that paragraph, that is a closing P backslash P. Again you can opening the paragraph P. This is a paragraph. After then you can close the P, that is a backslash P, backslash body and backslash HTML. This way the program to be completed. Here the paragraphs and the heading tags, you are not used any border to in the body tag, but in CSS you are using the styles in heading tag, head tag. And head tag you are define a style P, that means paragraph you apply to this P, border colon 2px solid powder blue. After then padding colon 30px and with semicolon. After running this program, you can see what type of output to be displayed. What type of output to be displayed. See the output. This is a heading. This is a paragraph. This is a paragraph. This is a paragraph. Here the output is displayed similar in previous way, but the text, but the text, see, observe the text. This is a very large space between text and border of border. Text and border. It is a text and border. It is not a left to right border. It is a total top to bottom. The text in the middle between the top and the bottom border. Similarly, left border. Similarly, you have a left border is a same, but you have the right border depend upon the page. It is contained to all up to n line. This space is between top, the text between the top border and the bottom border. Top border and the bottom border. By using this padding tag, you are given the space between border of your text. In a previous you are applying the same, that is a border, but is a very little space between tags, the text. That is this is a paragraph. You see, going back, you can see that space between that particular place. It is a very nearer space between this border to text of your program. By using the adding space, it is a very large space between your programs. Now you can go for another program, that is the margins. You can go for another one, that is margins. What is the margin? Then you can go for a margin. Then go for margin. Okay. What is the this CSS margin property defines a margin space outside this border. Once again, see guys, this is the margin. What is the margin? The property defines a margin space outside the border. It is the what is the here it border. It is the this is a different. It is the outside the border of space between the. What is the CSS padding property defines a padding space between the text and the border. What is the padding? Padding is the property defines a padding space between the text and border. Padding is the space between the text and border. It is the difference between text and border. But you are going to the margin. It is defines a margin space outside the border. This is a outside the border of your text. This is the outside the border of your text. Then you can go for writing a program for that one. You can simple program in similar way. You can go for program program. See, in similar we can write the same different type of programs. That is it. Opening the HTML, opening the head tag, after then opening the style tag, after then you can pay, opening curly braces, in between you can write some code, that is a border colon 2px solid property, 2px solid properties, the solid border blue, ended with semicolon. After then you can use the margin colon 50px, your curly braces closed, after then your style also closed, that is a backslash style, after then closing the head tag, that is a backslash head. Now you can open that body tag, opening the body tag body, after then you can open the h1 tag, that is a h1, this is a heading backslash h1, after then open the paragraph, that is a p, this is a paragraph, closing of p backslash p, opening p and closing of backslash p, paragraph p, this is a paragraph, closing of p backslash p, paragraph, this is a paragraph, closing of backslash p, closing of body tag, that is a backslash body, after then you can use the backslash html. This way the program to be run. You can, in previous you are using the border, going to the style tag, and the style tag we are using a p curly braces open border colon 2px solid border blue, after then you are using the padding colon 30px, you are giving the padding padding, and the replace of padding with margin colon 50px, you are just a little bit of changes, you are using 50px with margin. Then you run this program. What type of output to be displayed? What type of output to be displayed? Just to see that output, just you run this program. This is a heading, this is a paragraph, this is a paragraph, this is a paragraph. Just to see that output, the text, after that there is no border space between the text, but after the paragraph one you have a large space between paragraph 1, paragraph 2, paragraph 3. It is a very large space between different paragraphs. There is no space in between paragraphs, paragraph and border. By using the margin, it is a very large space in between of paragraph 1, paragraph 2, paragraph 3. See that output we have a, there is no space between, there is no space between different paragraphs. You can also use it, you can also use paragraph 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 also apply both paragraph and this one. This application to be also be run in the same place. You are using different padding and margin, both are using, it is also to be executed. This type of program to be you are running on this one by using the padding and margin. After then you can go for a next topic, that is a link to external. Then you can go for a link to external, link to external CSS. What is the external style sheets can be referenced with a full URL or with a path relative to the current web page. Relative to the current web page. Link to the relative to the current web page. External style sheets can be referenced with a full URL or with a path relative to the current web page. In this one, you have the example of URL link to the style sheet. Then you can give the any link of particular path. For example, you can run this program. The link, that means the path of that particular website, you can given that output to be displayed. Output to be displayed. For example, in this program, you go for an example of this program. HTML head, opening the HTML, opening the head. After then you can go for a link rel relative equal to within a double quotation style sheet or closing the double sheet href equal to within a double quotation https /www.w3skills.com /html /styles.css within a double quotation close. After then you can move. This relate to it is this is a path you are given that particular one. After then closing of the head. After then open the body. You can write your h1 tag, that is h1. This is a heading. Closing of h1. Opening the paragraph, this is the p. Closing the paragraph. Body tag, closing the body tag. After then closing the HTML. We are using the CSS style sheet. That is the CSS style sheet. You are linked to real relative rel within a double quotation style sheets within a double quotation close href equal to within double quotation. You can give the path of that particular style sheet. You can see that output of that particular program. The output to be displayed. See the output. This is a heading. This is a paragraph. This is a heading. This is a paragraph. Here you are using only the link statement. You are given the full URL or link to a style sheet. You are giving only link to style sheet. After that you can give another example of example program for that. Links to style sheet located in HTML folder on the current website. In the previous, you are giving the in particular website you total full HTML path. Here you are in a current website. For example, you can go for another program, that is HTML example program HTML head link. After the head you can use the link rel equal to within a double quotation style sheet, closing style sheet href equal to within a double quotation /html /styles.css closing of double quotation. After then you can use the head tag, that is a /head body. The h1 paragraph, that is a h1 This is a heading tag, h1 tag, that is a heading tag. This is a paragraph, closing of h1 tag, that is a closing of h1 tag. After this you are using the paragraph p tag. This is a paragraph, closing of p. After then use the closing of body tag, the backslash body. After using, you can close the closing html, that is the backslash html. By using this program you can run the output to be displayed just like say this is a heading, this is a paragraph, and total background to be powder blue. In the previous you can run this program in previous styles.css. Directly the output to be displayed from styles.css. What the code of you are writing on the background color, that is a background of your particular web page. The output to be displayed on total full blue color of background. This is a heading. You did not given any colors, and this is a paragraph. You did not define any in this program. You did not define any colors on particular web page, but you can define this entire program to be styles.css. The output to be from styles.css. It is the small difference. The example of first one is the full URL link to the style sheet. In previous program you are giving the full style sheet for URL, but you are giving the particular folder, HTML folder on the current web pages. In this two way the program to be running. We are given to full URL to link to your style sheet. Otherwise you can use the sheet located in the HTML folder on the current website. Otherwise you can give the located where the style sheet located in the HTML folder on the current website. These two versions, the link version to be executed. After this one you can conclude the what the topics we are discussing in HTML CSS. In HTML CSS we are discussing different points that are one by one. You are focusing on one by one. That is the use the HTML style sheet, use the HTML style attribute for inline styling, use the HTML style attributes for inline styling, use the HTML style element to define a internal CSS, use the HTML style element to define internal CSS, use the HTML link elements to reference to external CSS files. Use the HTML head tag elements to store opening the style and link elements, opening of link elements. In a head tag you can store style and link elements. Use the CSS color property for text colors. Use the CSS font family property for text fonts. Use the CSS font family property for text fonts. Use the CSS font size property for text sizes. Use the CSS border property for borders. Use the CSS padding property for a space inside the border.